he's done a really nice job. You know, I'm really happy where he's at. The things that he's got to do, he's still got to clean up. Every once in a while, he'll do so well. Every once in a while, I forget, you know, that he's still a younger player. So some of the things he hasn't experienced or seen that he's getting to do because he's a full-time guy out here now, you know, he'll have a speed bump. So he's still a work in progress, but a great work in progress. I like his improvement. His decision making has been really good. You know, very, very consistent. You know, he's been, I think fundamentally he's made, you know, all kinds of, you know, he's made some nice adjustments, really just trusting himself, you know, the footwork aspect of it, which is really, you know, learn how to use your eyes and feet together. So, you know, fundamentally he's done a nice job. So I'm really happy with it.
What's one speed bump you might have had?
Speed bump, you know, just like in situational football, you know, just how to manage, for example, a 4-minute situation. You know, the little details of the game that, you know, honestly, you know, because he's a coach on the field, and, you know, being able to manage those situations where it's just him. You know, there was, you know, 2-minute, you know, he had a speed bump in there. You know, so they'll show up like in situational football. They're not big speed bumps, but they're things that, like, I've learned to trust him so much. And just like, oh man, I still got to remember he's young. He still needs, you know, I have to still keep coaching and coaching and coaching. So he's a great student, though. Love him. It's awesome.
How much did you know, I mean, he, you know, committed and signed here and enrolled, I think before you even were kind of in the picture. Did you know, were you familiar with him at all?
I was.
How'd you familiar?
We you know, watched him as an earlier player because, you know, early in his career he had some pop coming out of high school, you know, in that region. And when you recruit the country, you know, for quarterbacks, you know, you hear about the kids. But he was a skinny dude that time, small guy. And he hadn't grown into who he is today. But he always, I remember him watching him as a sophomore. He's a very competitive player. Same guy that's out here is the same guy he was in high school. You know, as a young player. Now, I didn't get involved past that. Just it was okay, here they are. You know, that's kind of where we were at with that class at that time. And, you know, he was on a lot of people's radar screen, and probably because of, you know, he'll tell you the story because of size or whatever the other people were saying. He knows that better than I do. You know, people just kind of went to another guy. You know, I'm glad he's here, though, I'll tell you that.
Who flashed to you on Saturday? I know Pat said it was a pretty important scrimmage for you guys to end the spring.
Yeah, it was. You know, the guys, Darren Hall played really, really well, you know, up to his standard. You know, in the offensive line, Jimmy had some speed bumps, but he did play well overall. I mean, I can see, you know, Borges' coaching coming through with him. You know, Brooks played good. I tell you, two guys that played pretty good in the offensive line I'm really pleased with is, you know, Connor Dantino has become a factor in there, and, you know, Mike has. You know, Mike's done a heck of a job. We missed him for a couple of days, I think a day. He was out, just had a little back spasm, but he came back and had a really good scrimmage. So that group of four showed real well. You know, the guy that keeps flashing out here is, you know, Taysir Mack. You know, he keeps flashing. Young receivers, Darren Street, he'll flash. Michael will flash. I mean, but we got to, you know, okay, flash. We need it to stay on. So we're still at that point with those young guys. Hey, let's leave these things on now. So it's just, you know, being consistent, you know, in our coaching and keep developing them. The young line, you can see guys, you know, the Hoy kid is doing a heck of a job. You can see his potential and see that he's getting it. You know, he flashes more consistently now. You know, the two young tailbacks, you know, they've you know, our defense does a lot, and they have caught up, you know, with understanding. So, you know, there's been a breakthrough there. So I could probably go through every position and say, you know, something that's kind of broke through. Tight ends, you know, they're getting a lot of time, and, you know, they improved on some areas that we've challenged them with, you know, setting the edge in the run game. They've been very consistent in the pass game, but, you know, everybody's still got a lot of work to do. I mean, but, you know, we have made progress, you know, because we're, you know, especially with the younger players, I can see them starting to, you know, make some flashes now, more consistent.
A couple more, and then we're going to get Kenny.
If there was no such thing as an NCAA, how much could Taysir help you this year?
Big time. He's an awesome player. You know, I thought, and we were, when I was in Indiana there, I thought he was, I thought he was one of our best guys. He was in the top 2 or 3. But he'd be a major help.
When we look at the stats EJ gave us from Saturday, it doesn't look like a lot of completed downfield passes. They maybe the longest was 20-some yards. Is that just a factor of situations?
Situations, because you get in those kind of scrimmages. There's a lot of situations in there. We did 2-minute, 4-minute. We did a really cool drill at the end. It's kind of 4-minute, 2-minute. You can get into all kinds of different situations. So a lot of that's dictated by situation. Then we had some normal down drives. We were trying to emphasize stuff too. We're still trying to teach, with the line especially, so we emphasize blocking pattern, just different aspects of the game. So it's still spring ball where you go in working on stuff. But there was, they did a nice job really, especially that first group of kids, those 4 linemen did a really nice job.
Do you see potential personnel-wise to stretch the field, maybe more than you did last year?
Yeah, we have to. The whole thing we've been trying to do in spring ball is develop a run game that can, dictate that we'll get those looks, because you need to get the box loaded so that you can take those shots. But when we've got some guys down, with Aaron, being down, that I don't know that we've been able to realize all that. Trey's coming off of his injury. So, but we did, like Tayseer Mack, you feel him, Michael flashing, Darren flashing, those guys are very capable of doing all that. And they, as younger players, now have to learn how to technically get open, because it's not like high school anymore. That guy's just like you, so meaning that they're evenly matched, you better use technique to get open. So, again, that's coaching showing up, that's us. So, but we'll be able to do that, especially with him and those kids.